and now we're going to proceed with the reading text. And to start with our reading lesson, of course, we have to start with the essential question here. Let's read it together. Here, what makes different parts of the world different? Read to learn what makes Alaska unique. So we're going to read the text, Alaska, a special place, and we're going to learn why Alaska is a special place first, and secondly, we're going to learn what makes Alaska different from any part of the world. So you will learn why Alaska is different from Lebanon, or why Alaska is different from London, why Alaska is different from Africa, okay? As we read the text here, we're going to figure it out. So I'm going to start reading the first two paragraphs, and I'm going to pinpoint some important and key ideas, key information, okay? So we start, and as I read, feel free to repeat after me, and I'm going to emphasize, as I said before, the important ideas of every single paragraph. Where can you find mountains, glaciers, and volcanoes? Alaska is the location you would visit. Alaska has different regions. In each part of the state, there are different features. So here we're talking about Alaska and how in Alaska we have mountains, glaciers, and volcanoes. So imagine, that's pretty cool. In Alaska we have all of this. We have mountains, glaciers, and volcanoes. Do you think we have volcanoes in Lebanon? I don't think so. So only in Alaska we have volcanoes. And in Alaska we have different regions as well. This is a vocabulary word, remember the word regions? So in Alaska we have different regions, and those regions, they have different features. The first feature we're going to talk about is the land features. The tallest mountain in the United States is in Alaska. It is called Mount Mckinley. Some people go to Alaska just to climb it. Alaska also has the biggest glaciers in all of the United States. Glaciers are made when one layer of snow falls on top of another. The snowfall becomes very thick. It turns into ice. The growth of a glacier takes many years to form. So in Alaska, we have the tallest mountain in the United States. It is called Mount McKinley. Later on, I'm going to show you pictures of Mount McKinley. And people go there, visit this place in order to climb it, okay? Do you like climbing mountains? That's great. Now, Alaska also has the biggest glaciers. What are glaciers? In class, remember when I told you that once the snowfall becomes very thick, you will have like layers of snow, not only one layer, like multiple layers, more than one layer, and then those layers, they become ice, and then you will have glaciers, and they take many years to form. And here, this is called a map. This is the map of Alaska, since we're studying about Alaska here. So we're going to learn about, we're going to read this map, and this map is about Alaska. This is for Alaska. And this is the key of the map. And notice here, every single key, the star represents capital of Alaska. The blue lines here, rivers. Here are the mountains, and this is the volcano, right? Look at this map and try to tell me what is, according to the key, follow the key here, what is the capital of Alaska? Yes, exactly. exactly. The capital of Alaska is Juneau. Juneau is the capital of Alaska. And in the map here, they showed us the different features, land features of Alaska. In Alaska, we can find what? Mountains, what else? Volcanoes, rivers. Okay, try to read this map with one of your family members and show them the different land features of Alaska. We continue. Temperature changes. So in this paragraph, we're going to talk about temperature. Is the temperature in Alaska the same? Does every single region in Alaska has different temperature? Is it too cold in Alaska? Is it too hot? We're going to figure it out after we read the text. Alaska has different temperatures. Northern Alaska is called the Arctic region. The temperatures are much colder than inside your freezer. The ground, lakes, and rivers are almost always frozen. As a result, most people live in the south of Alaska. It is warmer there. Crops grow well in the rich soil there. So here we're talking about two regions. So we have the northern Alaska, which is called also the Arctic region. In the northern of Alaska, it is very cold. It is colder than inside your freezer. So imagine it is chilling over there. And even ground, lakes, and rivers, they are almost always frozen. So you will have like icy lakes and icy grounds and icy rivers. As a result, people, they don't live there. They live in the south of Alaska because it is warmer, and they have crops because of the rich soil. So they have plants because of the rich soil. Now, discuss it with your family member and try to figure out the difference and try to compare between North Alaska and South of Alaska and try to contrast as well. So, what is the difference between North of Alaska and South of Alaska? And try to discuss this with one of your family members and try to tell them some important information that you have learned in this paragraph here. Animals. Alaska has many different animals. You may spot a walrus or polar bear among the glaciers. You can see a black or brown bear fishing in a river or a stream. In another region, you can see a moose or caribou. So we're talking about animals in Alaska, and I'm going to mention only two of these animals, and you are going to figure out the rest of the animals. So in this paragraph here, they're telling us that in Alaska we have walruses and we have polar bears, and try to figure out yourself the rest of the animals. Okay, we have other animals that I didn't mention. Try to figure them out. Okay, finally I'm going to read this paragraph over here. Daylight and darkness. The seasons are special here too. In summer, people celebrate the mild temperate weather. These lively people also celebrate the sunlight because the sun does not set for many days. In one village, the sun doesn't set for more than 80 days. You might be in bed and still see the sun shining. So seasons are also special in Alaska. In summer, imagine that in summertime, the sun does not set for many days, so you will have sunlight for more than 80 days in one of these villages in Alaska. And imagine that you go to bed and the sun is still shining. That's cool, right? That's really special. And this is why we said that Alaska is a special place. Let's see in winter. We talked about summertime, now in wintertime. In wintertime, the sun doesn't rise in some places in Alaska. So in Alaska, in some places during winter, the sun doesn't rise. These places have more than 60 days of winter darkness. You could have afternoon soccer practice in the dark. You might think this would be eerie, this would be strange, but Alaskans do not think this is weird. They are used to the dark winter days. So in some places in Alaska, they have more than 60 days of winter darkness. So they go to school and it would be dark outside. So imagine going to school and it is dark outside. And this might sound eerie for you, but Alaskans, they don't think this is weird because they're used to this. So in winter time, the sun doesn't rise in Alaska, in some places in Alaska. They have more than 60 days of nighttime. Imagine. This is why we said Alaska is a very interesting place to live in. Thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoyed our lesson about Alaska and you learned some information about Alaska. Now I want you to do the reading comprehension worksheet, and thank you for tuning in. And this is the end of our video.